All right, Model Rockets 321 here, back with another video. In this video, I'm going to give you the 5 tips or 5 steps to get your model rockets looking beautiful. It involves a little patience, but if you're not that patient, I'm going to give you some ways to get around that also. I'm going to give you that step right now. Here's the deal. Getting your model rockets looking beautiful involves filling the spiral and filling in wood grain and sanding and filing, priming and painting. But outside of that, work on your beautiful ones, but have some little flyers that you can just put together really quick to keep you flying. Like build a little alpha. Don't do any of that stuff. Take that out, fly it for fun, go to your launches. But in the background on your workbench, you have your more beautiful rockets. You have your scale stuff or your really nice sport models that you're taking your time with, that you're getting the wood grain filled, that you're filling those spirals. You will have those at home to work with. It's not that difficult. Use these 5 steps and your rockets will start looking great immediately. You cannot go wrong. It's what I do for all my rockets. Most of mine, I fill all the spirals. I get them looking great. I still fly them. People say, you're going to put all that work into it. Yes, I put all that work into them. I still fly them. I like to fly nice rockets. So when they're on the shelf, they look nice. If they're flyers, they have little scuffs and dings. It's not perfect because they land on the ground. But I'm going to show you in these 5 steps right here. But we're going to start with the items you need to get this done. This is Model Rockets 321. Let's go. All right, so before we move on with the things needed, I'm going to just show you an example of what I'm talking about in case you're brand new. Every body tube comes with the spiral. It's from when they're manufacturing the tubes to have this spiral in there. You can see that line. That is actually a gap. It's a space. And if you paint the rocket with that space, it will leave that space. It'll be a gap in there. It don't look that great to me. I can always see in a rocket when it's not done. Even some of my own, it got missed a little bit. But at this point, when I build now, I'm able to get them all filled. And so will you. You'll be able to do the same. It's in every body tube, even a little small down to the little BT50 tubes and the little 13mm ones. It's in all tubes. So you want to get that filled. I'm going to show you how to do that. And also wood grain. This is balsa wood here. I filled it, everything's filled, nothing's been sanded. So that is pretty much the process, filling and sanding. But I'm going to guide you right through it, everything you need, and you guys can start performing this right now, and you will get your models looking really nice. Like my far side right here, I've done this one, to perfection. There's like, you cannot see any seam lines in there or any balsa wood grain. This one's done to perfection. This is my Vega. The Vega's been done. I weathered it. I made it look old like that, but the wood grain's filled and it's great. Same with the Saturn 1 SA5 and same with this scratch built, just like a sounding rocket design on my scratch built. Same with that guy there. So let's move on to what you need to perform this work. Okay, so step 1, the first thing you will do is fill in those spirals in wood grain. Here I have some Minwax wood filler and I have some Elmer's wood filler. Any kind will work. I was liking this Minwax stuff lately. It's really nice and it's kind of sticky, has a nice feel to it, not too bad. Fill it in really nice, it dries really quick. And that is the first step. Fill in the spirals and fill in the wood grain. You will use your finger or you can use a piece of wood dowel or anything, it don't matter. Just get the wood, just get the spirals filled. That's the first step, fill in all the spirals and wood grain. Next up, after that dries, you will move to your sanding. You will sand those spirals down. This is all thick and crusty right now. You can use like a sanding block. You can use some fine grit sandpaper and just sand it down. Take it down. Big areas that are really rough, you can use something a little rougher. You can use some medium grit. Like this is some 100 medium right here. That'll work, but don't sand too deep. Don't go into, these are just paper tubes. Don't go too deep into the paper and don't go into the wood too deep also. So try to stick with the medium until you get used to it. Or these little filing sticks, they have like a medium side and a more coarse side. So you can just sand it down. That is step 2. Step 3, after you have it all sanded, you're going to wipe the model down with either a damp paper towel, damp cloth or anything, or any kind of tacky cloth. They sell these cloths now that has a little stickiness to them. You can wipe it down just to remove all the dust as you get prepared for the next step, which is step number 3, and that is primer. You will move to a spray primer. If I'm painting a light color rocket or anything bright, I use white. If I'm going to paint a dark color rocket, it really don't matter. You can use a darker gray or you can use white, but definitely use white if you're going to be painting your models with anything bright like yellows and reds. Use white. Any bright colors, use white. So that's the next step. Hit the whole model with white. And when you're spray painting a rocket, keep the can moving. Don't let it pool in one area. Be back about 10 inches, 10 to 12 inches, I think they say. I've been doing it so long I forget, but I do put a nice distance between the rocket and the nozzle of the can. So spray it, cover it nice, a nice misty coat, 1 to 3 coats. Build up. Don't do them all in one shot. Build up your spray coats with the primer. Next step, you will look the model over and you will go back to filling any little areas that you may have missed. Just the areas you need to fill at that point. Just the areas you need to fill. That is like step 4. So just filling in the little areas you may have missed, and then you'll return to sanding. Those will be a fine grit sand because you don't have to put a whole lot on. You're just filling in little gaps. So you'll just go back and be hitting it until you blend it in with the body till it's nice and smooth. So there you go. And then you'll come back to primer again. So it's kind of repeating. It's like you're filling primer, filler primer, and your final coat of primer that's really nice. Once you can see no gaps, all the wood grains filled, you're ready to move on to your paint. Here I have a can of testers. I was just showing Rust-Oleum, but this is a can of testers. Try to stick to the same brand because you don't want anything to react. You just never know. I'm just showing this as an example. Testers have really good stuff. Spray paint been getting really bugged out lately. They're doing these paint and primer combinations. I'm not really liking those. You'll see that in hardware stores or hobby shops. But testers is great stuff. A little more expensive, but this is $5.79 for a small can. It may even be more. I bought these a while ago. But testers is great. If you get testers primer and testers spray, you can't go wrong. Or if you get Rust-Oleum primer, try to get Rust-Oleum paint. You can't go wrong there either. And once you have your primer coat, go on and, like I said, do your spray paint and take your time. Really nice sweeping coats. Build it up. Don't do all in one shot. Just the same as the primer. Build up your coats until you are happy with it. And you will see the results in doing this. Super recommended. And while you're at it, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. But these are the tips to get you on to some very nice models. You're filling first, you're sanding after that, and you're priming. Fill, sand, prime, look it over. You may have to do some little spot filling, sanding, and then primer again as your final coat. Then you move on to your paint final stage. This is just a can of silver. And that is the way it's done, guys, to get your models looking great. From the start, it's possible. Don't think that it ain't. It takes a couple extra steps, but you can do it. It'll move your model rockets to a whole nother level. Instead of just having that spiral in there showing and wood grain showing, start doing this. Take your time. Have some little flyers, little throwaway rockets that you just want to fly just for fun. If you want to get out there, you can't wait on this. But if it's something, a rocket you really want to be nice, you know, something, you know, on the Mars lander, I don't know what you guys are building, but if it's something you really want nice, just take your time, do this process. I guarantee you will like it. You will like it. Any questions, drop a comment down below. Fill, sand, prime, repeat, and then you can move on to your paint and your masking and any other details. So fill all that wood grain. Fill it all. This is Model Rockets 321. Before you guys go, hit that like button. Also, check out this quick little ad right here. Be sure to visit the Model Rockets 321 Space Shop for logo tees, mugs, and other space-related merchandise. Alright, so there you have it. Hopefully you found the 5 steps helpful. Any additional questions, drop them down below and I will answer them for you the best I can. Just drop your questions. It's Model Rockets 321 and we are signing off. Check out the next video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you guys for tuning in again. Model Rockets 321, and we out.